talk about always, it's the storm surge that is the most dangerous part.
We're going to talk a little bit about that too, and it's the trajectory that this storm is taking that is a huge concern for Louisiana. All those bayous, everything is right at sea level, even some areas in New Orleans below sea level. So you think about that storm inundation, that becomes a huge player. Let's take a look at the storm on the bigger scale. It is a big one, right? It is certainly a different beast than it was yesterday at this time. Yesterday it was crossing Cuba, emerged back out into the Gulf, and now it's going through a strengthening cycle. One thing to note here, that you can see that this dark red is starting to wrap all the way around. Symmetry is everything with these storms. The most powerful storms are the most symmetrical storms. A very well-defined eye, and now we're seeing another round of very strong storms developing right on the western side of that eye wall. That's going to start to wrap around. So that is a sign that this thing is shrinking down, it is intensifying, and it is still moving at that northwesterly trajectory. Cat 2 storm now, as of the 5 o'clock update from the National Hurricane Center, 105-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Remember, hurricane force winds are in a small part of the bigger storm, but the impacts of the storm will be felt far and wide. You can see already the rain bands starting to move northward. They're going to have a tornado threat throughout areas of Alabama and Mississippi as this makes landfall. But the current path takes it right up into the bayous just south of New Orleans. Now, I put on the wind streams around the storm. This is like 60-mile-per-hour winds or greater. And watch how this moves in, okay? So I've got the wind streams, and then behind that you can see there is your storm surge where you see the white. That's where we're talking 10 feet plus possible storm surge inundation. And notice how far inland it goes. Again, that's because of all these little rivers and creeks and streams. It's going to push that water in. The other part of it is, remember, on the eastern side of a hurricane, that's the more intense side. There's a couple different reasons why, but one of the most important is that is the onshore flow that is going to be coming with this. And notice that onshore flow is directed right into the New Orleans metro area. So a huge concern for New Orleans. They are trying to evacuate everybody that they can. Not only do we have the wind impact, not only do we have the storm surge impact, but don't forget, this is a rain system, a very efficient rain system, and we will have huge amounts of rain that falls states away, all the way up into the Ohio Valley as we head through the next 5 days. So by Wednesday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the expected placement of what is left of the storm will be right in southern Ohio, down around Marietta. So we are expecting some rain out of it. Most of that rain likely to stay east of 71, but of course only time will tell, and we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Meanwhile, this evening, we have a beautiful evening going on. Hot, summery, partly cloudy skies out there. A few isolated pop-up thunderstorms have been going on. Your air temperatures are still in the 80s, but it feels like it's in the low and mid 90s around northeast Ohio. It's going to be a sticky night tonight. Storms east, storms west, and there's just a few little spits and sprinkles around major areas of northeast Ohio. Bigger picture, though, this is an interesting one. This is a frontal boundary. This is a huge player in the forecast as we go through the next several days because we stay hot. We stay sticky through the day tomorrow. This front comes in on Monday. What else is going on Monday? This storm is expected to make landfall. So as Ida is coming north, it's going to run into the winds that are running along the cold front that's coming here. And that is what is going to help to push Ida to the east. So if the front is delayed, Ida comes farther north, we end up with more rain. If the front goes farther south, well, then it looks like we don't have to deal with it as much. All right, partly cloudy by midnight. Morning temperatures right around 70 and in the low 70s is going to be a sticky start. By afternoon, watch how these showers and thunderstorms start to bubble up in the heat of the day. Once again, upper 80s to near 90, so plan on the possibility of rain if you're out and about. Here's your Union Home Mortgage forecast. Temperatures fading back through the low 80s into the 70s as Ida makes its approach, so we're going to keep an eye on Wednesday. Then things are going to start to warm up as the storm departs and we get some brighter skies in here. Lena?
All right, thanks, Betsy. Coming